Good morning.
Hi,
I'm Jane
Jane.
Bradley with smartspider.net. I am here with one of our very favorite Smart Spider members, Lynn Trojahn. Good morning, Lynn.
Hi, Jane. It's great to be here. And thank you for saying I'm one of your favorites because you're one of my absolute favorite people. And Smart
Oh,
Spider is just an organization I'm so proud to be a part of. So thank you for having me join you.
thank you, Lynn. We're having a little love fest on this beautiful Tuesday morning, aren't we?
It's exactly what we need after the holidays, a little mutual admiration society.
Absolutely. I have known Lynn for over 18 years in the professional community in Albuquerque. I met her when she was the development director and so involved with the wonderful progress that Bosque School has made. Later on, Lynn moved her wonderful talents as a fundraiser and community activist to Action, which has a new name now, and I'll let Lynn tell you what that is. But Lynn raised millions of dollars at Action in order that small business entrepreneurs, like so many of you are, could have a better training, access to funding. And now she is the owner of Thrive Consulting, helping small, large, gigantic, not-for-profits do better than they could have done without her. And I'm not just saying that. Lynn helps develop boards. She helps in all aspects of making our not-for-profits in New Mexico financially stable by allowing people to contribute and feel good about themselves. Did I say that about correctly, Lynn?
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I would just add is that over my fundraising career, which actually started when I was 23, so about 35 years ago, 36 years ago, I've worked with teams and organizations first in San Francisco and then since 1993, Albuquerque, my hometown, to raise over about 150 million for those organizations. And now since I have created an entrepreneur myself with Thrive Consulting since 2016, I've worked with about 50 organizations and supported them in raising over 40 million on top of their normal budgets to support their capital campaigns, their endowments, their operational capacity, to help organizations who are doing the most critical of work that a lot of organizations for profit wouldn't even tackle or take on. I've been supporting them in the most important resource that they could garner, which is money to bring into their organizations and support their missions.
We all want to do good. We want our community to thrive. We want all different aspects of our community to be the best it can be, because frankly, I know that we share this in common. We love where we live.
Absolutely. I love my hometown of Albuquerque, and really with Thrive Consulting, now that Action is Dream Spring, but even before, we were bringing in lots of contributions and lots of good money. And so we were able to expand, not only to be here in New Mexico, but Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, and Texas. And I really just wanted to make a difference in my home state, in my home city. And so to be able to do that with organizations and especially, the individuals, board members, who oftentimes are, of course, the most successful people in the community. But when it comes to fundraising, there's fear, there's a lack of confidence, there's challenges and obstacles. So to be able to have people move, whether you're a receptionist at an organization or the development person in charge of fundraising or a board member, to have you go from fear and maybe loathing to joy and appreciation and feeling like you're a money magnet for your organization, those are all things that I want to support these crucial, what, my mentor, Lynn Twist, who wrote The Soul of Money, calls social profits, because we are about making money. We are about having more revenue than expenses. We are about growing our services. And we're not a not for or a negative group of organizations in a sector. We are about creating the social good and creating more social capital, people like you and I, Jane, and the others who may be listening, to help make a difference for our organizations. So I'll refer to them as social profits, and we are the social profit sector, in that we are taking on insurmountable problems and creating the kinds of solutions that change our world for our clients and the people, the environment, the animals, everyone who we serve, to make a difference.
Now, Lynn, I think my love of social organizations began at the age of about 7 or 8, when I became a brownie, which is the baby Girl Scouts. I was actually in Girl Scouts until I was a junior in high school. And then when my daughter came along, she was a brownie, and we had a Girl Scout troop in Nambe, New Mexico. And until she was about 16. And I'm still in touch with many of those little girls. Without social organizations and fundraising, and I don't mean just buying Girl Scout cookies, I mean the bigger picture of the bigger money for organizations at a national level and then at a local level. Girl Scouts United Way, there are so many social organizations. Our hearts are touched when we see people on the corner with a sign that says, "We're hungry." Well, we can't feed all those people, but we can feed the organizations that feed them.
Absolutely. And here in New Mexico, it's often considered a state that maybe is at the top and the bottom of some of the worst statistics. When it comes to philanthropy, we know that we have a pioneering spirit. We are the 22nd most philanthropic state per capita in the United States. And many people are surprised by that. We don't have a lot of capita or people, but what I always knew, even coming from the Bay Area, where there's such a rich tradition, literally and figuratively, of fundraising and bringing in revenues to social profits, I knew when I moved back to Albuquerque, we had this culture, and that it was our chance to grow the culture of philanthropy. We have one of the most successful United Ways, our United Way of Central New Mexico, in the country. Of 1,400 United Ways across the United States, we have the 13th largest number of Alexis de Tocqueville members, which are across United Ways, the $10,000 to $1 million and over. And we have 355 of those Alexis de Tocqueville members. And that's even higher than Los Angeles. It's higher than Miami. And then we're in cities our size, the second largest United Way of Alexis de Tocqueville members. Only Tulsa, Oklahoma is higher. But we're higher than Jacksonville, Florida. They have professional sports and many more people than our Central New Mexico. And just the third thing about our United Way of Central New Mexico, which is a barometer of our philanthropy here in New Mexico, is that Mackenzie Scott chose our United Way, as well as many others, but not very many of those 1,400. Ours received a $10 million gift from Mackenzie Scott, our United Way of Central New Mexico. So when we keep inviting people to contribute, that creates a culture of philanthropy. And what we know during COVID and during the pandemic, and even as we come into this kind of post-pandemic period of time, is that our organizations could not pause. We could not wait until things got better. We had to figure out, given who our clients are and their needs, how to make sure that those who are hungry got more food and were unemployed, that they got more opportunities to be able to grow their businesses or keep their businesses going, or even embark on capital campaigns, which a number of my clients have done and received funding even during the pandemic, like Explora, to be able to build their teen center. So we need to make sure that we thrive, and people were so ready to give in New Mexico and Albuquerque.
So Lynn, during the pandemic, I was so in talking to you privately, so excited to learn that our not-for-profits in New Mexico continued to thrive, and many of them thanks to your good counseling and consulting. I think most of the people who are listening to us today on this interview have served on a board, have given their time as a volunteer to this organization or that organization. There are so many opportunities in our community to give of ourselves. Personally, on a personal note, I have always had the philosophy that in my life, I've never been able to feel a hurt from what I've given. It has always made me feel so good. I have always felt so enriched by philanthropy, whether it be buying 6 boxes or a case of Girl Scout cookies, or giving a major donation to something I believed in, like the Albuquerque Museum of Fine Arts. I encourage all of you out there who are listening to find a not-for-profit you love and are willing to work for. Be a volunteer to sit on their board, and give your dollars to support our community and the good it does. And if you want to know how you can better serve, Lynn, can people contact you to chat about having you help their board out, or advise them personally about how to become more involved?
Absolutely. And they can go to smartspider.net and look me up on that website. This was such a great service, Jane, that you've created. I didn't want to spend my time on a website. I wanted to spend my time training people to be joyful fundraisers and to find the love of fundraising. And the more we invite, what we often forget is it not only brings money to our causes to be able to serve our clients and the causes we care most about, it's a huge opportunity, as you've just expressed, Jane. It's a huge opportunity for contributors to name a building, to name a room, to name a fund after somebody who they cared so much about. At Zimmerman Library, that I was able, with my family, my daughter was 3 at the time, my husband, the 3 of us contributed toward a whole bookcase in honor of my grandparents, Colonel William and Frances Salmon. That will be there always in the West Wing of Zimmerman Library. So those kinds of opportunities are so huge for us when we contribute. And whatever is significant or meaningful for ourselves will make a huge difference for those organizations we contribute to. So yes, look me up on smartspider.net, and we can talk about the services that I provide for your staff, for your board, for your volunteers, so that they can get engaged in fundraising and helping to serve your organization, because it feels so good to give back.
One of the things I love about being me is I get to interact with Smart Spider members like the fabulous Lynn Trojahn. She has been an inspiration for so many of us in Albuquerque. As we do our little bit, we watch her do the big bits. Thank you for being my special guest today, Lynn. And your information will be on the screen after our faces are gone, and people will be able to contact you through smartspider.net. Again, thank you for being you and for being of service to our community.
And thank you, Jane. We really, all of us entrepreneurs who are affiliated with you and have known you for so long, or for even just a short time, we're left with your huge heart, your caring, your commitment to all that you serve. And thank you so much for giving me the chance to spend this Tuesday morning with you after the July 4th holidays, and what a great way to start the week. So thank you for our time together.
Thank you all for joining us today. And if you are a smartspider.net member and would like to be interviewed, contact me through smartspider.net and we can make that happen. Have a prosperous, fun, and fabulous week.